Final round fight!
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 138 of the Sun and Moon anime titled The Finals, the Ultimate Rival Showdown just dropped, and this is part 1 of the finals of the Alola League between Ash and Gladion, a 3v3 battle which will determine the outcome. Who is going to be Alola's first champion? How did this first episode go? Well, let's find out. Ash's mom and Professor Oak come to see the Palatown child that's in the second league finals. Seriously, why didn't they make it to the XY finals? Anyways, while playing around with Meltan, Meltan gets upset and blasts Professor Oak in the face with a flash cannon before calling all of its buddies to evolve. The next morning, the league finals is getting ready to start, but before that, we see that underground, Team Rocket is working on their mech while watching the finals, and in the jungle, their robot Oranguru has malfunctioned, leaving Beware and Stuffle free to come and get them. In the stadium then, the match begins, and Ash starts off with this Melmetal. Ash gets a few good hits in with Double Iron Bash and Flash Cannon, but Gladion eventually starts figuring out how to counter. Eventually, he changes his Silvally using a fighting type memory and hits Melmetal with a multi-attack. It doesn't KO it the first time, but after a bit of back and forth, Melmetal is too exhausted to counter a second multi-attack, which KOs it. Ash then calls out his Pikachu, who tries to use his speed to attack Silvally, but in a twist, it turns out that Silvally is actually faster than Pikachu, cutting it off at every turn. But Ash brilliantly uses Electro Web to set up bounce pads in the arena, so that when Silvally dodges a quick attack, Pikachu bounces off the Electro Web before Silvally has a chance to recover and smashes it in the face with an Iron Tail, KOing it. Gladion then brings out his Lycanroc as a second Pokemon, but it uses Night Daze, which isn't a move it can usually learn. Ash uses Electro Web as a distraction to get behind Lycanroc before blasting it with a Thunderbolt, forcing the illusion to disperse and confirm the fact that it is in fact Zoroark, not Lycanroc. The episode ends with both Pikachu and Zoroark going at each other. The first part of the Alola League finals. Oh boy. So, they're both good and bad to this episode, which unfortunately isn't something you want to say about a league final episode. Let's start off with the good. It's good to see Ash's mom and Professor Oak, who we haven't seen since the Kanto return episodes. They come at nighttime, and every time they show it, I have to compliment how gorgeous Sun and Moon's background look. Night sky, dusk sky, it all looks really, really nice. Stars everywhere, and the great use of music makes this moment very wholesome. But also in the scene, I think they made a mistake having Meltan start to evolve before cutting to Gladion training. Why? That felt so unnecessary, especially during that moment. They could have done Gladion's scene with Lillie and Lusamine either before or after the evolution, but not right in the middle of it, because when we come back to it, it's in the middle of evolving, and what we got to see of it, the evolution looked great. It's just such a shame that they cut it off, because having the entire evolution sequence played out uninterrupted would have made the evolution feel so much more grand, especially since they had been building up this evolution since Rowlet's win against Decidueye. But another thing that I liked, and this is a small thing but I did appreciate it, is that Kukui got to ref the finals. It's nice since he was the one to build the league, so it only makes sense to allow him to be the one to get to call its first finals. The match against Silvally and Melmetal, on the other hand, was not good. And really, that really sucks to say. Why? Move spamming. Ash gets a good hit with the double Iron Bash at the beginning, and he decides, you know what? That's the only move I'm going to use now, except Flash Cannon, which I'll only use twice in this match. Why? As a Meltan, it knew Headbutt, Thunderbolt, Harden. Even if it forgot one of those moves for double Iron Bash, it still has two other moves it can use. The main problem is that the move they decided to spam, double Iron Bash, while cool, takes so long before hitting. I'm not exaggerating here when I say that the animation to lead to the attack took up to 2 minutes of screen time. I know because I went back and checked how long the animation for double Iron Bash is before the first hit, and it's about 30 seconds. That's way too long and really drags out the fight when it didn't really need to be like that at all. And unlike a lot of other people, I don't even mind Melmetal losing its first match. even though it is strange that they did so, because it lost to a legendary Pokemon. Remember, Silvally is a legendary Pokemon, and I can live with that, especially since I assume that in the arc following the league, it's going to have a bigger presence. But making its very first battle as a Melmetal feel like it's dragging its feet is something that I do mind. On the positive though, the second match between Pikachu and Silvally was great. We finally got to see the unpredictability of Ash's battle tactics come into play here as he counters a faster opponent in Silvally by using Electro Webs to bounce off a miss attack. That's actually brilliant. Why didn't he do that more often? You know what else is great actually? The subtle hint when Gladion threw out his quote-unquote Lycanroc that it wasn't a Lycanroc. Why? Because if you paid attention to the series, or if you remember I even mentioned this on the first part of Kiawe vs Gladion, is that Gladion has his Lycanroc in an Ultra Ball. So when he pulls out a Dusk Ball and throws out a Lycanroc, it should have raised red flags if you realized it. And if not, that's fine because it still works since he uses Night Daze and Shadow Claws, which are moves that Lycanroc can't learn even through TMs. So overall, a mixed bag. I thought that the first half of the episode, while good for the most part, made a mistake cutting away from Meltan's evolution, but besides that, it was pretty good. The first half of the battle portion though, that really sucked, and again, that isn't something you want to say to a league finals match. If it was any other match it would be fine, but not this one. The finals is something that needs to be played like a game of chess on both sides so that both competitors, win or lose, come out looking strong. Ash spamming double Iron Bash doesn't do that for him. He does redeem himself in the second half, but it does feel kind of short since the second half battle gets cut very quickly after Zoroark comes out. But even still, I don't think he should have had to redeem himself in the middle of a league finals. That just doesn't look good for him. Luckily for us, the battle looks like it's really going to pick up here, as it looks like the emotional narrative of Zoroark being Moan's Pokemon and Gladion wanting to win for his father is going to come into play here. Unfortunately for us though, we're going to have to wait till next week to see that episode. Speaking of next episode, it looks like they ramped up the animation for the next episode as they should have. That makes sense, as the title, Winner is Born, implies that someone's going to win next episode. And I'm going to continue to say that Gladion's going to win, even though I really want Ash to win, so that if Ash does win, it's a major surprise, and if Ash loses, I don't disappoint myself. The final battle looks like it's going to be Lycanroc versus Lycanroc, which the series has set up before as being important, and they have had that match a couple of times, so seeing it for the final time is going to be good. I can't wait to see what happens there. But anyways, that's it for my Pokemon Sun and Moon episode 138 review. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, like, share, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought of the episode in the comments down below. I'd love to hear it. You can also follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and that's it. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.